going on, Jeromes? Unfortunately, it's a good day for some Vikings offseason Q&A. Right. But, of course, less than 24 hours. The wound is still raw. It hurts. But thank you, everyone who submitted questions. We say this every single time. We're going to get better at doing Q&As. So let's fire it up. Aiden Outlaw. Should O'Connell at least attempted to take Darnold out of the game? Why wouldn't we have tried to do some razzle-dazzle? It's whatever. Another year, another early playoff exit. My laugh as a Vikings fan has been nothing but disappointment. It's always hard to stomach ones like this. That's very fair. And honestly, O'Connell should have considered benching Darnold during the Lions game. All right. And in the Rams game, I get dance with the one that brought you and go down with the ship. But it was very clear that Darnold, whether it was the pinky or some sort of mental block or lack of confidence, he was a drain on the team. And I understand having faith in your quarterback, but at a certain point, it's a massive disservice to everyone else involved. Like, if you're on that defense, who actually played relatively well outside the first drive, if you're Jefferson and Addison, like, how pissed are you today? Quietly. Like, you'll never say anything in public, but how pissed are you that Darnold basically just completely fell off the map the last two games? Right. And would Mullins have done anything differently? Well, what's the worst that could happen? You lose. You don't score. Like, how did one of the best offenses in the league in the two most important games score 9 points each in each game? It's ridiculous, man. But yeah, that's the thing too about the playoffs. Where same thing with the wild card 3 years ago against the Giants. Like, you would think that Kevin O'Connell's got some really funky stuff in the back end of the playbook. Because I mean, you see it all this year. The reverse passes, all the the tricky stuff. None of that. Absolutely none. It almost looked like in the last two games they were running the preseason offense, just vanilla, right? And also, all week, O'Connell was teasing, Daniel Jones, I don't know, will he have a role? And then he was emergency quarterback 3, so he couldn't use him. So what was the point of any of this? Just next. Why I like life. Why did Kevin O'Connell have a complete lack of urgency with 16 minutes remaining in the game? That's fair. And even throughout the second half, like, there's a little bit where they went up-tempo, but I don't know what they were waiting for. Because after they missed a 2-point conversion, which I don't know how you complete a non-screen pass on a 2-point conversion and lose yardage. But even after they missed a 2-point conversion, it was still a 3-score game. But there was just no tempo. There was just no juice. And guess what? That would have worked. Quick game, getting the ball out. Stop taking the 5 and 7 step drops and then huddling up and then snapping the ball with 5 to 10 seconds left on the play clock. That worked against you. It honestly was like the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl, the first one, where McNabb and company were down 2 scores with like 4 minutes left, and they were taking their damn time. And Aikman even mentioned it on the broadcast, or maybe it was Joe Buck, one of the two. Jabroni was just like, do the Vikings know that the clock is ticking? Something like that. And it's fair because, yeah, the Vikings had a very small chance to win, but not going with tempo gave you zero goose egg. You had Russell chance to win, and also not putting in Nick Mullins, because Mullins, say what you will, he does have a quick release. He will get rid of the ball, and he's going to effing sling it, like win, lose, or draw. Like someone's scoring 4 touchdowns, right? But again, the lack of urgency, it almost seemed like O'Connell didn't want to lose by 30. That's really all that it was, and it's just rubs you the wrong way, doesn't it? Yeah. Sean Johnson. Besides getting a new offensive line coach, what other changes should be made to the staff? Do you think Kevin O'Connell can be convinced to give up play calling duties to someone more adept at making in-game adjustments, and he can concentrate on being a head coach? So I know that's a popular topic. I don't think that Kevin O'Connell would do that, even though Wes looks like Wes is going to be back. He hasn't had any head coaching interview requests. McCown's had one, but I don't think that O'Connell would necessarily do that. And part of it is he's learning to be a play caller at the same time he's learning to be a head coach, right? Because even though he was intermittently a play caller at times in Washington and also a couple plays here and there with the Rams, like this isn't a spot where he's like McVay or Kyle Shanahan or whoever, where they were full-time play callers as OCs before getting their head coaching jobs. O'Connell is learning all this on the fly, so it's not an excuse, but it's more of a note, right? And O'Connell, like we've seen him have huge success, but when it goes sideways, it goes sideways quick, right? So it's something that he's going to have to learn on the fly. Or, you know what? Like head coaching jobs don't come along very often. Just go down with the ship, man. Like do it your way. And if you want to go down calling plays, go down calling plays. Like the Vikings have racked up and stacked up a lot of regular season wins. Hopefully some postseason success will come, but go get yours, KOC. Like, I don't know. If I was asked this question like 18 hours ago, the answer would be a lot different. There'd be a lot more F-bombs in there too. Next, R-Free. OG Jerome, ask great questions. Is Darnold holding the ball so long on him trying for the home run or play calling progressions? I think it's a lot of things. First off, like O'Connell just doesn't trust himself with the short throws. I don't know what it is, but he's off target on screens. He's off target on slants. He's off target on dump offs. I mean, his footwork, it really is just a mess. Plus, you saw it in the Lions game. He passed up 2 walk-in touchdowns to Addison. And then this game, he passed up a number of probably touchdowns to Jalen Naylor, as well as the one that really stood out where Kobe Turner got a sack on Reisner. But it was a screen pass it was a wide receiver screen to Jefferson on the left. And it was blocked up perfectly, and Jefferson had a ton of space. Darnold looked at it, he didn't throw it. So he I don't even know if there's other receivers in the progression because everyone else is downfield ready to. I'm definitely not blocking for Jefferson. So I don't. Yeah, but part of it is O'Connell and Darnold trying to look for the home run. And I think that they're definitely entangled in that thinking. But when it's not there, when you're getting pressure on you, you can't do that. And they just never learn from that. Yeah. Next, R-Free, like I said, ask good questions. Will they do the right thing in the offseason, completely rebuild the interior of the OLine, or are they going to just move a piece around and call it good? Yeah, so the Vikings interior offensive line, so Darisaw needs to be back. Cam Robinson's going to leave in free agency. O'Neill's going to be that dude. So you got your tackles. But Brandel, Bradbury, Reisner, all 3 of them should be gone. Same thing with Ed Ingram, even though he's got a year left on his rookie deal. Basically just gut this thing, right? And the Vikings are in a unique spot where they don't have a ton of draft picks, but they have a ton of salary cap space. Hammer free agency. And we made the case for Tevin Jenkins, but also Matt Freese from the Colts is there. Same thing with his teammate, the veteran Ryan Kelly. Still has some great football left in him. But numero uno, Trey Smith. $20.5 million a year. I do not care. Get Trey Smith in a purple uniform. Like, that will be the cornerstone. It's a lot like a couple years ago where we were all in on Jumpin' Joe Thuney, the pride of Kent State, when he was a free agent leaving the Patriots. He ended up signing with the Chiefs. Became the highest paid guard in NFL history. All in. No more pussyfooting around, no more half steps. Fix the interior offensive line. And here's what's great, too. So, in the draft, obviously, that's the lifeblood of teams. And you have to hit more than you don't. But in free agency, especially if and when you have the cap space, you know what a player can do. Like, you know how a player will react at the NFL level. You know what their schematic limitations are. So just go out and get a player that you know is good, right? And guess what? If they're coming off the rookie deal, they're still going to have 5, 6, 7 years of their prime. So go out and get that. Hammer down. That's right. Anyways, that's it. Q&A for this beautiful day. Actually, today sucks. The sun still came up. Stupid sun. You guys are the best. You have to do. Skull production value.